Please explain Berkshire Hathaway's recent investment in Activision Blizzard and the reason for reducing or selling its stake if it has. What do you think about the ABK merger with Microsoft?
Well, I think in terms of what we do with stocks, we don't give information except when required to, which is in the 13F or whatever we file. And there's certain things you can actually figure out by looking at our 10Q, which we filed this morning. But you have to look pretty hard. But I would say this: I think Microsoft has been remarkably what's the word? Willing to cooperate with governing bodies, and I mean, they want to do the deal, and they've met the opposition, it seems to me, more than halfway. But that doesn't mean that it gets done if a given country, in this case the UK, wants to block it. They're in a better position to block it than the United States. That's just the way the world works, and that doesn't get solved by offering more money, or so it. I don't know how it turns out, but if it doesn't go through, I don't think it's through any shortcoming by either Microsoft or Activision. But not everything that should happen does happen, and well, we ran into it when we bought, made the deal with Dominion Energy 18 months ago, and that they let us buy a good bit of what we wanted to buy, and then the U.S. government, in effect, said, you can't buy something else, which I think we would have done a better job with than anybody else did, and which the states involved did not object to it, which the customers didn't object to it. But you don't take on the United States government, and you try and figure out things that you won't have a problem with. And I think in that case, the U.S. government made a mistake. I think the British government's making a mistake in this case, but that's life in the big cities, sure, I would say. And what we do will depend on a lot of things. Charlie?
Well, I think what we do, you kissed that one off beautifully.
Buffett explained that they only provide information about stocks when legally required to, while information can also be found in 10Q filings it may not be easy to find. Buffett notes that Microsoft has been willing to cooperate with regulators, but it ultimately depends on the regulator's decision. In this case, the UK regulators have blocked the acquisition and it may not get approved. He also mentions that offering more money may not necessarily solve the problem. Buffett discussed how the US government prevented Berkshire Hathaway from buying something they wanted, even though it would have been beneficial for everyone. He believes that the British government is making a mistake in blocking the ABK acquisition, but sometimes governments can make mistakes that prevent good deals from happening. Buffett notes that what Berkshire Hathaway does with its stocks will depend on various factors. They are flexible and adapt to changes in the market and regulations.